Emanuel Brueh.
Stephanie Block, everyone. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so excited. The Great Star Theater, recently restored, helping to symbolize San Francisco rising from the ashes. They're committed to new artists. Oh, and I get to perform for tens of people. And to perform on the stage where one of the greatest comics of all time, Mr. Bruce Lee, what? Oh, they're telling me he wasn't a comic. But last time I used ChatGPT. Hello. I'm sure we can all agree that Nazis weren't very nice. However, their outfits were divine. Und sexy, yeah. Have you all noticed today that young men are wearing pantalones that very distinctly outline their schmeckel? There are other young men, however, that run counter to this culture, and they wear a pant where it's a mystery if they even have a schmeckel. I share these fashion tidbits with you because there was a time when I fantasized about being a designer for the stars. That probably leaves you all wondering, why is he on the stage trying to be funny then? It's almost 3:30, it's past 3:30, we want to go home and start our dinner. Let me explain. I shall explain. When I was a very young boy, I was afraid of almost everything. I was filled with anxiety. I was an awkward boy. In first grade, Mark Dudum was my classmate. He sat behind me, and he liked to try to get a rise out of me. Not that kind of rise. We were 6 years old. No, he liked to sit behind me and flick my ears to see if he could irritate me. And I was afraid of Mark Dudum, so I ignored him. However, Mrs. Gotelli, our first grade teacher, caught him and brought him to the front of the class and gave him a sound spanking. It was a triumph. I think it's because of Mark Dudum that I now have a fetish for spanking. My second grade teacher, Mrs. Keatsman, was giving us a math lesson. I raised my hand. She thought I had a math question. No, I had an announcement. My announcement was that my classmate, not Mark Dudum, my other classmate, William Anderson, was going to come over after school for milk and cookies. Inexplicably, Mrs. Keatsman was perturbed that my announcement had a complete lack of context. Disappointingly, she did not give me a spanking. Instead, she made me stand in the corner. And this was not the first time that William Anderson caused trouble for me. At my birthday party, my dad asked the kids if anyone was tired and wanted to go home. William Anderson raised his hand. I was very offended. I was very hurt. So I gave William Anderson a spanking in front of all the other kids. That was not a triumph, because at my next birthday, it was very poorly attended. I developed a reputation for being the P. Diddy of second graders. Not much happened that was eventful for the next 6 years, so we'll skip to the 8th grade, for it was then that I kissed a girl for the very first time. I didn't like it. She had braces. She was a girl. She was a girl. Not much happened for the next 4 years, so we'll skip to when I graduated from high school, for it was then that I discovered I was not very bright. I was not accepted to Cornell, or Berkeley, or DeVry. I know. I was accepted to City College, however. They were legally obligated to do so. After City, I was accepted at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, where I pursued my baccalaureate in hotel administration. When I arrived there, I was dismayed to discover that all of the students were jocks, and girls who were into jocks, and me. I did not realize I transferred to a school where the primary objective was to fornicate. I was still afraid of everything. I wasn't ready to fornicate. My primary objective was to avoid getting a wedgie from the jocks, or the girls who were into the jocks. Oh, that was not a good situation, but I decided that I will avoid wedgies by feigning interest in the same things that they were interested in. I even went to Hooters. Hooters, ladies and gentlemen. When I arrived at Hooters, I decided I need to make a bold statement to assert my masculinity. So I had a plan. When I got to Hooters, I went up and I motorboated Bethany's boobies. Now, for those of you that didn't laugh at that and are offended that I did such a vulgar act, let me explain. Bethany was a cocktail server at Hooters, and I went to her before doing that, and I explained my conundrum about my masculinity, and I tipped her handsomely. So Bethany was on board. So I went up to Bethany, I nuzzled in between her booby is a pickle, boobies, and I went, whoa, well, that wasn't as successful as I had hoped. Part of my plan worked because all of my classmates did see me, but Slater, the surfer dude from Van Nuys with the 1.0 grade point average who organized this trip to Hooters, he saw it, but from across the bar, he bellowed at me and he said, "Dude, I thought you were a fag." Right you are, Slater. Right you are. Well, my objective eventually kind of evolved from avoiding a wedgie to trying to get a job at a top hotel. But then I was disappointed to discover that Hilton and Hyatt and Marriott, when they came to recruit, they were searching for good-looking people with charisma and confidence. They were not looking for a 5'5" trembling chihuahua with an ambiguous affectation. Even stupid Slater got a job at the Four Seasons, and he didn't even know what that was. And when they offered him the job, he said, "Dude." Eventually, Holiday Inn hotels came to recruit, and they loved me. So I ended up working in the hotel business for 40 years, and then I finally realized that I was ill-suited for this industry. Why? Because I don't like people. And then I thought, what else could I do where I could potentially be among other misfits of limited intelligence? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I stand before you on this stage. I'll summarize with a song. Awkward boy, boy afraid of everything, boy who wanted to dress the stars, not go to bars and fornicate, you see. Oh, but why do I like spanking so, and men in pants where schmeckles show? Oh, one fateful May, Holiday Inn came my way. There I checked in, stupid teens, bitchy queens, making scenes all day. After 40 years, I finally did learn I'd rather make you laugh and get money, oh, your money in return. Amen. Shabbat shalom, y'all.